In today's video, we'll learn how to create nice friendly animation for the hero section of this web page. Now, we'll start with the navigation bar, of which our main focus will be on the service drop down. We want it to have well displayed information and we want it to look beautiful at the same time. And next we have our text animation. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now, everything we need for this tutorial is already on this page. So here we have our hero section, we have the nav bar, and this is the text for the drop down for the services. And this is our image. So first thing we want to do is to create components for this text. Now I'll click on home, alt and drag to duplicate it. I'll go ahead and do that again, alt and drag to duplicate it. Then I want to change the color of this to blue, which is like the brand color for this. Now I'm just going to go ahead to pick any color, so this is good. Next thing I want to do is to select the two text, come over here and click on create component set. Now here we have it. The next thing is to come to the prototype section, click on it and drag this. The trigger is going to be while hovering. So while hovering, it's going to change to frame 64 and instant. Now there we have it. We'll move over to design and I'll just go ahead and copy this, or you can actually come to the assets panel and you can just drag it out from here. So I'll come over to the nav bar, click on this, and I will just paste to replace. Now we have this. I'm going to do this for every other text here, excluding the services, because I want to make this as simple as it can be. Like, I want even beginners to understand. So the next, I'll click on this and paste to replace and change the text to about us. Next is packages. I'll do the same thing, paste to replace, and I'll change the text. Next is FAQs. So I'll go ahead to change the text. Next is blog, paste to replace, blog, contact, I'll leave it at contact. All right, now for these services, because of the drop down menu, I want to do this separately so everyone can follow along. Now I'll just do the same thing. I can come over here and create components and click on it to add a variant. Now I'll change the color for this, because when you hover over it, I need the color to change. So we'll come over here and change the text color. Now we'll come over to the prototype section and we'll connect this. The trigger would be while hovering, change to variant to instant. That's what we want. We'll come over here, copy and paste to replace. So let's check what we have so far. I want to come here, click on this frame and shift and space to get a view of what we have. So let's see what we have. Okay, yeah, so we're on the right track. Now let's work on the drop down. So next thing we want to do is I'll copy a text from here. Now this text, I'm going to add auto layout to it. Shift A to add auto layout. The next thing I want to do is to give this a fill. We'll come over here and give this a fill. So let's change the color to F9, F9, FF. Yeah, this is good. I'll give it corner radius of 4. Sorry. Okay. Now I want to increase the width to 160. And yeah, this is good. I'll come over to this auto layout section and align left. Now the next thing we want to do is I'll create a variant, or I could just duplicate from here. Yeah, and I'll change the color, the fill color. Okay, let's use something like this. Sorry, I'm not using my colors. I just want this to be as short as possible. I don't want the video to be long. So I would select the two, come over here and create component set again. Come to prototype section, connect it, and it's still going to be while hovering. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and create a list for the drop down. So would come to design, come over here, alt and drag to copy. I would go ahead to duplicate this 4 times. So Command D, Command D, Command D. Now this is for the 4 text that we have here. I'll go ahead to change the text inside. So this is travel insurance. Sorry. Yeah, insurance. The next is 24/7 customer support. Okay. And the last one is travel consultation. Okay. Now I want to increase the width of this to, let's say, 170. Okay, there we have it. Now the next thing to do is to add auto layout to this and give it a fill. It should be the same color as this. Then give it a corner radius of 4. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and make this a component. So I'll just come over here and click on create component, and we're getting there. So next we want to create a frame. The frame is going to be the container for this list and the image we want to have. Now I'll click F on my keyboard and I'll draw a frame. I'll give this a corner radius of 4. I don't want it having sharp corners. Then I'll go ahead to copy this and paste. Okay. Let me increase this. Yeah. Then I'll click F on my keyboard to create another frame. Give it corner radius of 4. I want to give it a fill color, not that is important, but I want to see it when I drag it into this frame. So yeah, I'll go ahead and make it wider. Now next I will drag in the image. Yeah, make sure the image is inside the frame. So let me just cut and paste. Command X, and I'll come over here and Command V. I'll click K on my keyboard to scale this. Yeah, so this is okay. I'll come over to this section and I'll close the scale function. All right, next I want to copy the two, give it a spacing of 16, and I'll add auto layout. I'll make sure it's center aligned, both vertical and horizontal. So next I'll come to the shape tool and get the shape. Yeah, then I'll bring it over here. Give it the same color as the background. Yeah, then I'll go ahead to group it. So Command G. Okay, I think it's too much, so let me reduce it. This layout, I'll come over here and just reduce it to 20, and I'll use my arrow key, the arrow key on my keyboard, to bring this down. Yeah, it looks better. Give it a little round corner. Okay, 1 is okay for the corner radius. Now since it's grouped, the next thing I want to right click and click on frame selection. Now is a frame. So next thing we want to do is I would click on, so this whole process, this and this was just to get the drop down list ready. So this was done to get the hover effect, like when you hover on each text, this color comes up to indicate that you're on that text currently, and this is the list. So this is just to give you a complete form. Now, next thing we want to do is come over to the prototype section and you connect this. So let me bring you closer so you don't get confused. Let me take this away. So we'll click on this, on the services, and we'll connect it to this. So the trigger would be on click. Instead of navigate, it would be open overlay. You come over here and close when clicking outside. So we'll click on this. You don't need this, it's your choice anyways. Then we'll come over to the position, click on the drop down, and we'll go to manual. Now this allows you to manually set the position of the overlay you want to apply. So now I get to fix it just where I want it. So this is okay. So instant is okay. I'll close. Now let's check what we've done so far and see if it's good. So I would click on shift and space. Now all this is working the way we want it to work. Now when we click on this services, this appears, and yeah, it's working just fine. If you want to go further with yours, you can add a cancel icon or close icon. So when you click on it, you prototype it in such a way when you click on it, the overlay would close. Or this is totally fine. When you click out, it will just disappear. So this is it about this. You can actually change the background to maybe a darker color, but this is okay. So we want to move over to the text section. Now come over to this panel and click on design. Now you notice this text has an auto layout frame added to it. Now we don't want that, so we'll go ahead and remove the auto layout. Let me go ahead and duplicate this and just keep it by the side. Now we're going to remove the auto layout and I want to ungroup. Now I need just this text together because I would animate this and this together and animate the larger text with the smaller text together. So let's bring this text out, alt and drag to bring it out. Okay, so in order to achieve this, we need it to be grouped. It makes it easier. Then okay, it has an auto layout, so we'll go ahead to remove the auto layout and let me ungroup so nobody gets confused. So this is just the text on its own. You select the two and you group selection, so it's grouped right now. Then you right click again and you click on frame selection. Now it's a frame. What we want to do is we'll duplicate this, alt and drag. Now we want in such a way that when we come to this page, the text would slowly move in from above. So would work on this first. We'll click on the text, that's the group, not the frame. You can see over here group 5. Then firstly, you can go ahead to click on the frame, come over here and click on clip content. Then select the group, hold shift and you drag, you take it up. You can have a specific number you want it to be at, okay? But like I said, I want this to be very fast. So you just, as long as you can't see it any longer, it's good enough. So it's going to animate from above and come down to where it should be on the page. So we'll go ahead and highlight, select the two, come over here, click on it and create component set. You come over to the prototype section, you connect. So it's going to be an after delay, change to frame 71, and the animation would be smart animate. Let's give it 1000 milliseconds. Yeah, isn't. Now this is good. So let's check what we have. Come over to design here. We'll copy this, copy, paste to replace. Yeah, now let's check it out. Shift and yeah, so you saw how it came from, yeah, it came from above. Okay, so we're on the right track. You can increase the speed just the way you like it. So let's move over to the next, which is this. So we want to copy this too. I'll hold shift, click on this, alt and drag. Now first thing I want to do is to remove the auto layout on this, on group, so you don't get confused. Now I'll go ahead to group this. I don't want you getting confused. That's why I'm trying to make everything like start from scratch. Okay, so I'll click on Command G to group this and group this to Shift click and Command G to group. So this is group 7 right now. Then I'll right click, click on frame selection to add frame, come over to this property panel and click on clip content. Yeah, now I'll go ahead to duplicate this, alt and drag, just the way we did this. Would work on this first because we don't want to see this when we come on the page. After delay, after few milliseconds, we want to see this appear. So what we'll do is click on this. There are different ways of achieving this, so it doesn't really matter how you go about it. What matters is that you get what you want to achieve. Okay, so we can actually come here, come over to this section, and opacity will take it to 0. Now we'll select the two frames, come over here at the property panel and we'll click create component set. Still on the property panel, we'll click on prototype, come over here to connect. Now the trigger is going to be after delay 800 milliseconds, change to frame 71. It's going to be a smart animation. Over here, we're going to change this to slow because we want it to be very slow, and we'll change the duration to 1500 milliseconds. Now let's see what we have. Come over to design. I'll copy this. Copy. Okay. Firstly, let me group this so when I paste, it would just paste the two together. So I would click on this and hold shift, click on this and click Command G to group. So when I click on this and copy, I'll just come and paste to replace. Now you can't see them, but they are there. So let's check what we have. Shift space. You see? Let me play it again. All right. So this appeared very fast. Let's do something about that. Come over to the prototype section. Click on this. Maybe we can make this 2000. Okay. So shift and space. Still very less. 2500 should do. All right, let's check it out. Yeah, I think this is better. So now we have our nav bar working. The drop down menu is working, and our text animation is working. Now this is cool, is beautiful, is welcoming, but don't use this when it's not necessary. You don't go about animating every section of your work or your web page, and even when it's not necessary, you have this coming from the left, right, and all that. No, only use this when it's necessary. Now this animation is very welcoming, so that is why we applied it here. When the user comes in, they feel welcomed with the text appearing and they see everything like smoothly coming in. Yeah, it's something, it's really good, it's cool and welcoming. So don't go about using it in every section, even footer and all that. It's going to be very funny. Okay, so this is it for today. If you need me to create any video for you at all, just drop it in the comment section and I will make sure to work on that and deliver the video for you. So see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video with your friends who would need it, and leave a comment. Don't forget. See you in the next one. Bye.